What's going on, chat? We're going to be chilling out tonight. Probably doing less games than we normally would. I just got back from a Star Wars Unlimited tournament, which I won. And I'm kind of tired. My beard is all messed up, chat. We took a picture of the top four. And I was joking, partially, but I was like, man, I need to go to the barber, get my beard cleaned up, because it looks like shit. That's what it boils down to. But you know what doesn't look like shit? Phobies tournaments, specifically Monster of the Week, which is what we're going to be looking at tonight. Now, of course, I have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies tournaments and content in general, not just the tournaments. So they are providing prizes for said tournaments, though, and that's coming from the devs. You get coffee just for participating in Monster of the Week. You don't even have to win any games. As long as you play, you're going to walk away with some coffee. Of course, if you win, you get some more. So just throwing it out there. If you're interested in playing in that, hit up the Random's Thoughts Discord. But with that, let's get into it. Now, we will get into it momentarily, chat. I do want to do this quick because I wanted to do it earlier, but because I was playing in the tournament, I didn't get a chance to. Please put your in-game names here for... I need to make sure that I ping the players to have them give me their in-game names, so that way we can, make sure the coffee gets distributed. All right. We got that squared away. Let's see. Where is the bracket? We're going to look at a few random games. I didn't really get a lot of feedback. I didn't have a chance to look at feedback from anyone for this particular event, or the events, plural. So we're going to be taking a peek. We're just going to kind of wing it, chat, and hope that the ones that I pick are good. We will see. So what's going on, chat? I hope everybody out there is having a good start to their weekend, or middle of their weekend, or almost back into another work week again, which means, yeah, I'm a little sad inside. A little sad inside. So we shall see. I believe this to be the appropriate game, so we're going to jump into this one first. This is not the right game. This is not even the map pool right now, is it? Oh, please. This is even in the map pool? Ah, it is. All right, well, dude, this just rotated in this week, and I already forgot. So we're going to continue with this one, chat. All right. So we've got Deer Age. We've got Potentia 2. We've got Chapeltown. We zoned in, and I'm like, wait a minute. I honest to God, straight up forgot that this was even available. And I created the event yesterday, so you can tell how my brain is doing at the moment. I do have another tournament tomorrow. I would like to go to this much larger one, but it's kind of a drive, and I don't want to be there until like 8 p.m. and then have to drive home an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then potentially not be able to do the stream. So I'll decide when I get up is basically what it's going to come down to. There's a much closer one that I was originally planning on going to, so I may just do coverage of the other one, but I would like to go to that. I need practice because there's a much larger tournament for me coming up. Well, by the time this goes live, it'll be the day this video goes live, so a week from today. And I still don't know what I'm going to play. Still don't know what deck I'm going to play, because I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm sure we'll come back to that. We're getting an early Inoculus out of our orange player, an early Hematic, early-ish Hematic. I guess ish applies to both. Out of Potentia. Orange player just claiming some panic points. We get a little Spud. Spud feels weird. I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand the Spud. This is, to me, Spud, like, okay, so the Bad Omen is fine. The Spud kind of feels as though Dear H is saying to themselves, I want something on the board, but I don't want it to be Jar. And it obviously can't be Snowball. It's already on the board. So what can I put on the board? And I guess Spud is the answer, which I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Spud is fine, but on this map, it doesn't feel like... It's just going to be exposed, and it feels like it'll get picked kind of trivially. But it is a ranged phobie. The lob is, of course, not irrelevant. Yeah, you'll have to let me know, and YouTube, you'll have to let me know how well the pop filter's working. I'm getting pretty close to the mic right now because I don't feel like yelling. It was very loud today, so I had to yell a lot, and I'm trying to make sure I don't lose my voice again for like the 4th time in as many weeks. So Phantom coming out of Dear H. I explicitly put in the notes for Monster of the Week, like you can put the rules and it posts things and stuff like that when I announce the events. By the way, we got the Super Mario Brothers Cupcake coming out alongside Creepy Devil. All right, we're going to see some spice here. Kind of glad we're watching this from Potenzia's perspective so we can see where the Creepy Devil goes. Though sometimes it's more exciting not to know. But either way, I put in the notes, if you feel a phobie is broken, prove it. And that has pretty much been my opinion for the entire time running all these events, is if you think Phantom or whatever, or it doesn't matter, pick a phobie or strategy or whatever, you feel it's broken, prove it. Go in, dominate everybody, and then do it again next week and the week after. And if we need to make adjustments then, as in ban phobies or whatever, we will do it. Thus far, hasn't been necessary, so we'll see. So we get the Creepy Devil, we get some Goon follow-up. Boggart is broken then. Is it though? Is it though, Koro? I don't know, did you do some mean things with Boggart? I haven't seen any of the details about any of the games, so I don't know. My back is kind of sore because, like, sitting in a weird position today. Alright, get the power down. Hilariously, on the Creepy Devil. There's no way Dear H knew that that was there because, like, you probably would have just killed it, but that's actually hysterical. This came up several weeks ago, and we were debating whether this would work, and I kind of assumed it would work, and I think everybody confirmed it, but it's actually really funny. So we're going to get a cupcaked up Goon. Ooh, that's a snipe! No! No! Dear H. Look what they did to my boy. They massacred my boy. Dear H, come on. That was... Yikes. Not happy about that one. Can't be happy. Oh, no. Dude, that Goon was actually pretty sick. That Goon was so sick. That's why I love, in this game, I love the Blom effects. Whereas I kind of hate the way things like Boss work. Where the Bloms are so much more rewarding when you connect them. When you hit a good Blom, it is spectacular. And it also... Your opponent gets punished, but they have the opportunity to address it. Like, they could have just not positioned that way. And you could make the same argument about Boss. The problem is, it is way more difficult to dodge a Boss. Like, if they want to connect with Boss, they're going to hit multiple things. It's just a matter of which multiple things. It is way harder to set up a Blom, but I think it is way healthier for the game. The level of planning, the level of strategy that is required in order to make a Blom connect. Oh no. I mean, at this point, we're not like this. It's not enough. I mean, you'll get the snowball, but not enough to get the klepto, which I don't know if I love this then. I don't know if I love this. I mean, the klepto is pretty beat now. The Phantom has done nothing, for the record. We are going to get a poison boss to set up the Your Fire. Oh, excuse me. So, the advantage here is Goon is super tanky. So is Hematic. And we just saw a Phantom Spud. That is not the play you want to be forced into. You can't even get it with the fire, so it requires 2 hits. Like I said, Goon lives, so that's going to murder the Klepto. Jinsting and Hydra can probably clean up boss. And then this Klepto on the bottom, Potenzia's Klepto, is going to be able to at least eliminate the 1 key. And Potenzia also still has 5 keys left. This is a bad time for our orange player. It kind of was going to go downhill no matter what once the Innocuous was lost. That's just too crippling of a loss to not end up getting beat, right? Potenzia Werewolf. Was Potenzia the first player in our events to really popularize Werewolf? I do remember Potenzia kind of being a Werewolf main for a while. It was like Werewolf on every map. But I don't know if Potenzia was the first. Down goes Jinsting. But I can't lie to you. I gotta admit. Gotta be straight with you. I don't like Dear H's chances. Down goes Phantom, sniped by the creepy devil. Honestly, like, the Innocuous snipe was great. It was just a great snipe. It's weird watching Phobies games sometimes where, like, there was still a lot of game to be played after that play was made. After the Innocuous went down and whatever the other thing was, the Bad Omen to the Goon. Like, there was still a lot of game to be played. But the reality of the situation is we're kind of watching Dear H die in slow motion. Like, there was almost no way they could win that game unless Potenzia fumbled, right? Like, I just don't see how they come back from that. It just seems brutal. And I'm open to other interpretations, but that's 6 free keys, including a highly powerful Phobia and Innocuous. It's tough. It's tough. GG. Very cool game to see, though. Very cool game to see. Ooh, getting pings in Discord. Let's take a look at the bracket. Oh, we got a potentially spicy one here. It'd be easier to find if I could type. It'd be significantly easier to find if I could type. Oh, this is going to be interesting, chat. We're going to zone in here. We got a round 2 game, Lord Shinra X versus PVZ Fermaid here on Pluto. What do we got here? It's fine, I beat Potenzia in 10 turns on Monster of the Week B, so they didn't just dominate. Fair. We are getting a good rotation. It's not, I mean, there are a lot of consistent players, but it's not necessarily the same player just crapping on everybody week in and week out. Okay, so this is an interesting opener from both players. I know a lot of people have been very high on Benny. I've already said my piece many occasions on Benny. So I'm still yet to be, like, blown away. Benny has not done anything that I don't, to this point, that I don't think that Stabby could do better. It's a weird way to phrase it. Bottom line is I think Stabby and Bo are still significantly better than Benny. Until proven otherwise, and no one's shown me proof. So it's all there with everything else. Prove it to me. The more interesting opener is the Sucky into Snappy. And the counter from PVZ is Bad Sheep. Given that the Sucky already used its leap, there's no way for it to close the gap there. Shinra not scared of the poison at all, or completely forgetting that it's an AoE poison. I don't know which. Shove Shark. So that means that Shinra is trying to set something up here. I don't know what just happened. Yikes. I mean, I get they're undead, but... I want to see what their health is after the poison ticks. Yeah, and you give up the stim. Even if that cassowary lived, it's just going to die to the Minotaur, like... I'm not a top player, Phobies player anymore. It's been a while since I have been. I don't think you should let Bad Sheep straight up connect with, like, half your team. I'm just saying. I don't think you should let Bad Sheep connect with half your team, especially if they're undead. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I fibbing to people? I feel as though that strategy's not going to go the way you hope it does. I did not plan it this way, chat. I did not intend to choose all of the short games, but since we watch Potenzia win and we watch PVZ Fermaid win, let's see how they do in round 3. We're back on Pluto. Potenzia with an incredibly abnormal opener. There are parts of a Numbskull opener here that I can kind of get behind. The big issue is going to be... do you just give up the stim to your opponent? And given PVZ's response, that doesn't appear to be the case. Now, here's something I will also point out. I like Snappy way better than Benny, because Resurrect is, generally speaking, a useless ability. Obviously, it's not always bad or useless. It's just, it's often not good enough, in my opinion. Whereas having an enormous metric fuckton of HP is generally pretty good, and Snappy is pretty tanky. We do get the Snappy marching up to defend its undead brethren here. Alright, so we're going to claim... what? Alright. I think the bloat is like PVZ's version of Happy. They're just putting it out there because they knew that I would bring it up. This is now like a channel meme. I have to be enraged every time I see a Happy or a bloat. And I kind of don't care, but I don't understand the bloat here. How is the bloat ever going to do anything? Benny tiptoeing into position. Like, I think if you're going to go bloat, you almost have to push it up behind the cassowary here. Like, I don't think you can keep it back here, but... maybe not. I mean, this was always going to be a play, and maybe, like, the combination of the damage means that the bloat ends up dead, but... the answer then is to just not put bloat on the goddamn board. I'm just saying. So, Microscopic was the phobia added to the board from PVZ. And I mean, it's a play. I don't know that I like it, but it is a phobia you can... What? This one's weird. I don't know what's going on here. None of this makes sense out of PvZ. It kind of feels like desperation / panic. Like, the bloat's obviously just dead. Hilariously, the AWOL survives. Minotaur goes down. Yeah. This one's not looking good in our blue player shoes. Don't call it a comeback. Probably because it's not with that muffin there. Why would you do this? It's just gonna die. Oh, no. Not like this. I thought that was going to be enough, but it's not. So this is kind of cute, trying to body block with the with the creep, but the creep is going to die to stuff on the board. The boom will connect, but it is going to soak enough damage that it doesn't matter. It's going to soak enough damage that the snappy will never die. We've been seeing a couple Minotaurs, which I'm glad that, we mentioned this a few weeks ago, that I'm glad that people are coming back around to Minotaur. Does this even kill it? Doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't see how PvZ can get out of that one. I don't know if I love the sucky opener. We just watched it lose twice. The hell is that noise? I don't know what that noise is, chat. I don't know if you can hear it. That's a weird... Anyway, Phobies. Sorry, I got distracted because it's a weird noise. I hope it's not like... I don't know, it sounded like the boiler came on, but it's not. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we know what the finals we want to look at is, I think. I don't know, do we make this all Kuro all the time? Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, that is today. Alright, so I guess it's this one? Alright, so we're zoning in on a different map this time, rather than all Pluto games. We got Last Rites, we have Dama, and we got Lord Shinra. Let's see who takes this one. Update time, so I gotta lock in. True. Update is a-coming. Did they actually give us a date? I mean, we got the trailer, and we know it's coming soon. What is this? I know there's no sound. Oh. There was a note in the Creator Affiliates channel, so I wanted to double-check. Announcement, it is October 2nd it's coming out. Okay. It is October 2nd, so we shall see what I'm very curious about the new Phobies, and by the time this goes live, live on YouTube, we will know what all of them do. I kind of get the sense people are... I don't know. There's a chance that some of these Phobies are broken. There's probably a greater chance that the ones that people think are broken are actually going to be terrible. But that's not because they can't be broken, but because I think the team would have preemptively nerfed them. You want Hexy the most? Which one is that? Is that the new Stabby? I'm assuming based on the name. Why do you want Hexy the most? I don't even remember what it did in the trailer, to be honest. Which, by the way, we are going to be, assuming things go correctly, we will have another Face Your Fears with Cars next week to discuss the update. You love Stabby? But why? I think you just made a whole lot of people just die inside a little bit, Kuro. A whole bunch of people just died inside right about now. I like Stabby's Reflect, but debuffs instead of damage. Oh, I mean, that's a reason to like the new Phobie. It'll be interesting because it's all going to come down to Hexy, how much health it has, right? Because I assume it's going to be identical to Stabby. It's going to be a ranged one mover. I don't think we saw it move in the trailer. But your opponent controls when the ability goes off. So imagine if Smiley would never, like, it doesn't have its end of turn thing. It's only when it's attacked. It would be way worse, right? Way worse. The difference is you're probably going to have to attack this thing with multiple things, and it essentially increases its own HP pool because of the debuff, right? Because every time, nothing can hit it twice. Well, they can hit it, but they're not going to do as much work, right? So we'll have to see what the exact numbers are. As far as this game goes, we do have a Boolean coming out. We're kind of letting them do the early game stuff, get set up, cap some panic points, run around a little bit, have some fun. That's a Jin Sting pick. And not great. Well, yeah, there's not great retaliation because that Klepto, thanks to the heals, should be well out of range. And due to the appropriate body blocks from Shinra, it is no longer vulnerable to the Snowball. And there's just not a lot of blue. Like, there's just not a lot of blue player stuff. So we're going to take the pick on the Gravedigger, it looks like. Reasonable, but now this Snowball is dead? Admittedly, our orange player doesn't have a ton of stuff either. But I think you take the trade that Shinra made. You're going to get a parting shot at the very least with the Klepto. The Spa should be going offline soon. Ooh, we get the cat too. That was a little surprising. Huh? There's no way. What? Okay. Got him. His Snowball looks dope. It did look pretty cool there. Alright, so I'm not going to lie. In no world did I think that Blue Lane was going to die, and I get the sense Dama felt the same way. And unfortunately for Dama, it appears that both of us were incorrect. Korn does get diseased here. We get Giggles as the follow-up. I don't love the double one-mover follow-up here. Inoculus is fine, but I don't know that I like Giggles in this scenario. I think you need more things that help you interact with the board faster. It's just going to take time for that Giggles to get into a reasonable position. Admittedly, it kind of only needs to move one more space, but I guess maybe it's fine. I just feel like you're going to have challenges positioning properly, and then Shinra obviously taking note of that as well, capitalizing on it with a Blasto. Klepto coming out of our blue player. 10 keys to 5 remaining. Panic points going in favor of blue. Does Shinra have the vision? Does Shinra have the precognition to be able to set this Blasto up for a decent kill? Repeller, huh? Playing the patient game. Is the Repeller... Like, is there a thought here that the Klepto is going to go Heart? Probably. I mean, I don't think it would. I guess there's a world in which Dama has enough damage. Yeah, they could make this push, move all of them up, try and stay out of range of the Repeller. They're not really... If you're going to go for it, I think you needed to position a little more aggressively with the Inoculus and the Hevo. So I think Dama's just looking for some sort of flank with the Klepto. Shove Shark making an appearance. Is this the play you want? Do you not just lose both the Inoculus and Klepto? I mean, the Clinico should be able to heal the Blasto. Alright, we're just going to go for this cluster down here. That's fine. Yeah, I don't like that. That almost feels like Dama forgot that there's an AoE on Blasto's attack, because why else would you push up like that? You're just offering those guys up. I mean, you'll get some counter hits here, but... yeah, I don't love this. I don't know what else to say for this one. To be honest, it kind of feels like Dama kind of threw in the towel a few turns ago. Offered everything up. I mean, I guess there's a world in which you have a hypothetically more mobile team as blue, because now Blasto has to, like, chase you down, but I just... The Klepto was kind of trapped. Klepto was kind of trapped. I think there might have been a line where you push as Dama towards Shinra's heart, and by push, I mean it was the Inoculus, the Klepto, and the Hevo, and just shove them all up there. The Repeller was still alive at that point and would have booped them, and then it probably gives Blasto time to rotate. I don't know. It just didn't feel like Dama was equipped to fight the Phobies Shinra selected. GG. I don't know how I feel about that. We've talked about it on many occasions before. I don't know how I feel about, like, a build order loss, and by that I mean the selection of Phobies. It's like, okay, Shinra chose Blasto. And while Dama could have fought it, sort of, the reality is I don't think they were very well equipped to fight it with the team they had. Certainly not with the positioning, so it might be influencing my feeling on the two compositions. But is it all right, or how all right is it to lose because of that, where it's just like, I picked the wrong phobies, so I lose. That is part of the game, but you can always say that out. Like, if we assume it's a bad mechanic, and I'm not saying that it is, but if we assume that it's a bad game mechanic, you can kind of say, well, it's part of the game for any game mechanic of any game, no matter how bad it is. So it doesn't feel as though that is a valid defense of it. You know what I mean? Like, I want a more reasonable defense of it. And I think there are many to make, but I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, let's take a look at this one. All right. I will say this time I did choose the game because it was shorter. Not really because of the length, but because we might as well stay on theme. This will be a comparatively short video. We got Kuro. We got Potenza. We've got a 10-turn game. 10 turns, chat. Sometimes I think about moving the lower thirds thing to somewhere else. Then it wouldn't technically be a lower thirds, but it kind of bothers me. And now that I say it, nobody will be able to unsee it if you didn't see it already. That it covers the way the turns are. It bothers me every time I look at it. But if I make it smaller, you won't be able to see the stuff very well. But maybe I put it at the top, or I put it on the sides. I don't know. Or I could shrink the game, but then I end up with a gap on the vertical side. Unless I just squish it and then it looks weird. I don't know. These are silly problems, but we're only on the first couple of turns. You got to fill the gaps of people just getting set up. This is like the part of watching a StarCraft recap, or a Warcraft recap, or live cast, or whatever. Where the caster's like, there's nothing to say, because in StarCraft and Warcraft, it's like the first few minutes, they're building their vital structures and they're building workers. It's like, well, duh. That's what you do in those games. And here, it's kind of the same thing, where it's like, you get your standard units on the board, because you're generally not doing something super wacky. You're going to see your snowballs, you're going to see your 1-keys, you might see, in this case, some Jin Stings or something. But until this goon hit the board, pretty much everything else was fairly standard, and that is the general case for the beginning of most Phobies games. It is rare to have something that is beyond those. So we got Jin Stings staring each other down. I was going to say brothers at war, but now you have both Hematic and Jin Sting on Potenzia's side, so I don't know. Goon going deep. This is bold by Kuro. Is this lethal? Huh. So there was no hope of the lethal on Hematic. Goon has a freakish amount of HP, though. And Goon has 2,300 HP. So the question is there any way for Potenza to actually eliminate this goon? I have to imagine Kuro's banking. No, there's in fact not a way to eliminate the goon. Ooh, the split bees. Taking down the Kerbloom. No effort going into eliminating the goon, other than this sheep. Which has to go into an awkward spot in order to dodge the Spud, which I did call out as weird in one of the earlier games, but Kuro notably also putting it on the board, so I do want to say that I'm not like, oh, I'm just ignoring the weirdness here. But the Spud here did influence the positioning, so maybe thinking about that, we could go back and look at the other game and see how much it mattered. Is this sheep just dead? Dude, we've watched, this is the 5th game, or whatever so far. We've had a lot of people just throwing Phobies away. I don't... Yeah. Yeah. I explained it on the one of the other games that if this game continued, I kind of expect that Koro would have taken it. Not necessarily because, oh no, they lost access to sheep. It's like, you spent a turn and 4 keys effectively doing nothing. It's tough. That's a tough one. Alright, chat. Let's see. What do we got? So, I need to know, because anytime that we see people choosing a lot of the same map, and admittedly, maybe no one else played on Chapeltown or Pluto, and we just happen to pick all the games that happened. But, another game on Chapeltown, we got Koro, we got Shinra. I'm curious why the players are choosing this. Potenzia couldn't kill Cowbell, Jinsting, and Kerbloom with the AoE Bs. Had I placed Boom instead, I would have had to back away and be down keys. Oh, why you had Kerbloom? I'm not sure why you put that phobie on the board anyway, unless it was intended to be bait. To be like, oh, please come after and kill this thing. I mean, I don't know what other 2-key you would have put on the board. It's not like you were going to put a K9000 or something. In case Goon somehow died. You were pretty bold, Koro, with that Goon. Like, that Goon... So here's the thing. The way this map is laid out... And I'm pausing it just because, like, whatever, it's fine. I think the Goon, if I recall correctly, was on the hex between Cowbell and Klepto right now. So realistically, it's not actually in much danger because there isn't anything that can really vault snipe. It's Snowball and Jar. Like, those are your options. Although, because we didn't see the cactus move, the 3-action phobie in the trailer, I don't think we saw it move. But I do wonder if that is a potential new vault sniper. I'm sure it's going to be a 1-mover, but it would be kind of sick if it was a 2-mover. And then now we have another vault sniper. I don't know if that would be healthy or not. I'm way more curious about how the maps look. Like, that's the significantly bigger deal to me. I notably will be unable to do a, or at least I'm pretty sure I will be unable to do a, like, pack opening / live hot takes video for this patch, unfortunately. Quick slap shot here. Is it actually called slap shot? What is the name of the ability? It is Slapshot. You know, it'd be funnier if Goon, like, tore his arm off and slapped you with it. Like, it just extended across, and that was the beam effect. Is his giant-ass arm slapping everything in one line. That would actually be really funny. In such a stupid-ass, like, Go-Go Gadget way. Go-Go Gadget zombie arms, and he just slaps everybody. That would be so funny. Maybe it wouldn't be that funny, but I'm very tired right now, so I'm finding it very funny. Oh, man, I'm wiped. Alright, so Panic Point advantage 4-2 in favor of orange, but... Big map, got some time, repositioning, setting up the goons. Koro, I thought you said you were taking this serious. Thought you said you were taking this serious. Notably, the eyes / blisters on Boggart's back don't appear to ever blink. You are taking this serious. Are you, though? Are you, though? We have talked about this before, that I wonder... Alright, I don't know why. I can't unsee it now. But look at Boggart's back legs. I feel like this has come up before, but like compared to Goon, like Goon looks like it's standing there. I guess kind of Snowball too, but like a lot of the time the Phobies look like all of their lower extremities are touching. I don't know why, but Boggart's back legs look like they're floating to me. Like they're not touching the ground. And I know it's like the ground is angled, so, you know, it's supposed to look like that. I don't know why, but my brain is playing tricks with me right now, and it's telling me that the back legs are floating. Let me know if you can see it too, chat, or YouTube for that matter. Let me know if you can see it. All right, so we gotta look at this play. Get in the heart. Ooh, that's pretty good. Handing the bomb to Jin Sting. Merry Christmas in October. Already hearing Christmas songs. It's not time yet. I can kind of see it, but I don't want to. It's disturbing. It's so weird, right? Like, okay, so here it doesn't seem as obvious, but like on that one tile, it looked like his back legs were floating. Like, they aren't touching the ground. He's just leaning forward on his front two legs. Chat, what professional function do you think Boggart serves in the Phobies world? We already know that there's a Phobies police department and that there are apartment buildings. Presumably, there's, you know, all kinds of different things. All the professions you can think of. What profession do you think is Boggart's day job? Believe it or not, but Goons is manicurist. He just plays hockey in his like intramural league. Alright, what do we got here? What is happening? I don't know what the point... Like, what is the goon... Or the goon... What is the glob here for? Like, seriously, when is the glob... The Rusty was out before the glob. Which, admittedly, Rusty's probably not going to connect with glob either. But, like... Why is the glob here? What is the glob countering? The Boggart? Uh-oh. Blom. By the way, getting this chip damage on the heart... It's a free 1,000 damage there. Little Frosty action. Koro hammering another nail into the coffin. Can Shinra dig themselves out of this? Because it's not looking great. Admittedly, panic point advantage. That's Jin Sting. That guy could use a vacation. 5-1. Now we're talking serious heart damage. We're talking way too many Big Macs every day. Cholesterol through the roof. Alright, Boggart is taking a day spa. Boss coming out of Shinra. I'm telling you, I don't understand this glob. Somebody explain this glob to me. What was this glob ever going to connect with? And Shinra did not put, like... There's no Shove Shark. There's no Akira. What is the purpose of the glob? I just don't think there was any reality where Shinra was going to glob something without Koro just... wanting it to happen, let alone allowing it to happen. Admittedly, Koro is still under pressure now, thanks to a couple turns of an enormous amount of panic point damage. We're now down to sub 50% on the heart, but a very patient game. Definitely time to set this up. And if you can get the Frosty to ever connect with the boss, you can set up a dive. So is the play more chip damage here? AKA shove with shark, blom, something. Looks like no. Boggart now healed nearly to full. Jin Sting a little vulnerable to the Klepto, but I think this is inviting Shinra to go after it. Do you not just freeze Klepto and boss here? You can't quite follow it up to really punish, can you? Because the snowball is in position to thaw. The Frosty is somewhat vulnerable. Can you kill the snowball? You do get a sick bomb here, though. Like, this is a great Boggart play. This is the kind of stuff that I've talked about before, where you set the freeze up, you set the lockdown up, and then you drop the bomb. I don't think there's enough damage here to kill this Frosty, so, like, this isn't spectacular. Yikes. Goon, again, has a billion HP. Boggart seems to have a significant amount as well. We got Dial, which is probably going to shut down this Glob. Frosty barely lived. I don't know if this is barely. Pop. I mean, don't get me wrong. Frosty has seen healthier days, but Frosty does not appear to be... It's not like sub 100 health, and it's like, oh, well, maybe if I did the math wrong, it's not going to live. Blom. Klepto and Jin Sting down. Snowball down. During the match, Shinra tried to kill it and kept Gonzo there to attack twice. Interesting. That would explain why it's closer. Yeah, at this point, because you don't have a way to thaw, you don't have... like, the Glob effectively was removed from the board. That was very well played. That was very well played. I don't know how much Shinra could have done at the end there to avoid the freeze. Like, it was... If it wasn't that freeze, a freeze was going to happen eventually. Do we need more fire phobies to help fight Frosty? I still don't understand the Glob. I'm being serious. Like, why was there a Glob? What was the Glob ever gonna... Maybe Shinra had went Glob and then was intending to put a Shove Shark on the board and just never got around to it, sort of thing. I don't understand why the Glob. Like, that doesn't make sense. And certainly didn't help. But GG. GG. Well, chat, some very quick games for once. I'm sure I will be punished tomorrow with 85, 50 turn games in viewer games. But that's going to do it for this week for Monster of the Week. If you're interested in playing in our weekly tournament series, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. The link for that, of course, will be in the description. But as always, everyone, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.